Korean cinema has a special way of breaking your heart and putting it back together, sometimes in the same scene. Before the global explosion of Parasite and Squid Game, there was a golden era of Korean romantic dramas that defined a generation of storytelling. These films didn't just make you cry, they made you feel something deep in your bones. Here is a countdown of 12 classic Korean romance films that are absolutely worth your time, ranked from 12 all the way to number 1. 12. An Affair, 1998. Directed by Lee Jae-young, An Affair is the kind of quiet, restrained film that sneaks up on you. Lee Mi-suk plays Seo-hyun, a housewife in her late 30s with a successful architect husband and a 10-year-old son. On the surface, she has everything, but underneath, her life is a series of boring routines, the kind that make you forget what it feels like to be alive. Then, her younger sister asks her to look after her fiancé while she is away in America. The fiancé is played by Lee Jung-jae, and he is younger, charming, and completely disrupts her carefully ordered world. What follows is a passionate affair that Seo-hyun knows will destroy her family, but she cannot help herself. This film was the 7th highest-grossing Korean film of 1998 and even won Best Asian Film at the Newport Beach International Film Festival. It is a mature, sophisticated look at desire and the choices we make when we feel trapped. 11. The Harmonium in My Memory, 1999. Based on a best-selling semi-autobiographical novel by Ha Kum-chan, this film is pure nostalgia. Directed by Lee Young-jae, it is set in 1962 in a small village school in Gangwon Province. Lee Byung-hun plays Kang Soo-ha, a 21-year-old teacher from Seoul who takes his first job at this rural school. Jeon Do-yeon plays Yoon Hong-yeon, a 17-year-old student who develops a crush on him. But here is the twist. Soo-ha has fallen for another teacher, Yang Eun-hee, played by Lee Mi-yeon. The film captures that awkward, painful, and beautiful feeling of first love, especially when it is unrequited. Jeon Do-yeon won Best Actress at the Blue Dragon Film Awards for her performance, and honestly, she deserved it. The harmonium in the title is this old, wheezing instrument that becomes a symbol of memory and longing. It is one of those films that makes you miss a time you never even lived through. 10. Failan, 2001. Now we are getting into the heavy hitters. Failan, directed by Song Hae-sung, is adapted from a Japanese novel called Love Letter by Jiro Asada. It stars the legendary Choi Min-sik and Hong Kong actress Cecilia Chung. The story is heartbreaking in the most unexpected way. Failan is a young woman who immigrates to Korea after losing her parents, only to find that her relatives have moved to Canada. Desperate to stay, she agrees to an arranged marriage through an agency. Her husband is Kang Jae, an aging, third-rate gangster who has no respect from anyone. He only agrees to the marriage because he needs the money. They never meet. Failan spends her days dreaming about this man she has never seen, writing him letters she never sends. Kang Jae, meanwhile, is living his worthless life, completely unaware that somewhere out there, someone actually loves him. When he finally discovers the truth, it is too late. This film is devastating. Choi Min-sik gives one of those performances that stays with you long after the credits roll. 9. One Fine Spring Day, 2001. Directed by Her Jin-ho, who also made the beautiful Christmas in August, this film is a portrait of a love affair from beginning to end. It stars Yoo Ji-tae and Lee Young-ae. Yoo Ji-tae plays Sang-woo, a sound recordist who travels to the East Coast for a job. There, he meets Eun-soo, a radio producer who wants to record the sounds of nature. They spend time together, drawing close during the winter. But as the seasons change, so do their feelings. The film uses the sounds of nature, the wind, the rain, the rustling leaves, to express what words cannot. It is subtle and quiet, and it does not give you the easy, happy ending. It shows you how love can bloom and then fade, just like the seasons. Jin Ho has this incredible ability to capture the small moments that make up a relationship. The silences, the glances, the unspoken things. This is not a film for everyone, but if you appreciate slow, meditative storytelling, it is a masterpiece. 8. Last Present, 2001.
우리 그이는 웃음을 줘야 하는 사람이잖아요. 그게 뭐가 그렇게 중요하다고요. 중요해요.
Also known as The Gift, this film is directed by Oh Ki-hwan and stars Lee Jung-jae and Lee Young-ae. Lee Jung-jae plays Young-ki, a struggling comedian. His wife, Jung-yeon, is played by Lee Young-ae. Their relationship is falling apart. Young-ki is so focused on his career that he fails to see what is right in front of him. The film weaves together his performances on stage with the reality of his disintegrating marriage. He keeps seeing parallels between the characters he plays and his own life. It is a tragic story about missed opportunities and the things we take for granted. What makes this film so powerful is the way it uses comedy as a contrast to the deep sadness at its core. Young-ki is a comedian who cannot make his own wife happy. It is ironic and painful, and incredibly moving. Lee Jung-jae and Lee Young-ae have such natural chemistry that you cannot help but be drawn into their world. 7 Loversconcerto, 2002.
앉아도 되겠습니까?
Directed by Lee Han, this film is a romantic melodrama that deals with friendship, jealousy, and the ties that bind. It stars Cha Tae-hyun, Lee Eun-ju, and Sun Ye-jin. Cha Tae-hyun plays Ji-hwan, a college student who works part-time in a cafe. One day, 2 girls walk in, Soo-in, played by Sun Ye-jin, and Kyung-hee, played by Lee Eun-ju. Ji-hwan is immediately drawn to Soo-in and boldly follows them to confess his love. Despite Soo-in turning him down, the 3 of them become inseparable, spending a long summer together. But as time passes, feelings get complicated. Soo-in and Kyung-hee have been hiding a secret from Ji-hwan. Years later, Ji-hwan goes on a journey to find his old friends and confronts a beautiful yet sad secret. This film was released during the heyday of Korean melodramas and features 3 of the genre's most beloved actors. Cha Tae-hyun brings his trademark awkward charm, while Lee Eun-ju and Sun Ye-jin are absolutely luminous. It is a film about memory, loss, and the people who shape our lives. 6. The Classic, 2003.
기가 그치면
Written and directed by Kwak Jae-young, who also made My Sassy Girl, this film is a sweeping romance that spans generations. It stars Sun Ye-jin in a dual role as both a mother and daughter, along with Jo In-sung and Cho Sung-woo. The film tells parallel love stories. In the present day, Ji-hye, played by Sun Ye-jin, finds a box of old letters and a diary belonging to her mother. As she reads them, we are transported back to 1968, where her mother, Ju-hee, also played by Sun Ye-jin, falls in love with a young man named Jun-ha, played by Cho Sung-woo. They spend a beautiful summer together, exploring the countryside and creating memories that will last a lifetime. But Ju-hee is promised to another man, and their love is torn apart. Meanwhile, in the present, Ji-hye finds herself falling for a fellow student named Sang-min, played by Jo In-sung. The film weaves these 2 stories together beautifully, showing how love echoes across time. The score by Jo Young-wook is absolutely gorgeous, and the performances are top-notch. It is called The Classic for a reason. 5. 3 Iron, 2004. Directed by the controversial but undeniably talented Kim Ki-duk, this film is unlike any other romance on this list. It is an international co-production between South Korea and Japan and stars Jae-hee and Lee Sung-yeon. The title refers to a type of golf club that is used prominently throughout the film. The story follows a young drifter played by Jae-hee who has no possessions except for his motorcycle. He spends his days breaking into empty apartments, but he is not a thief. He lives in them temporarily, and he always repays the owners by doing their laundry or fixing broken items. One day, he enters a house and finds an abused housewife, played by Lee Sung-yeon. She is living in a state of silent suffering. The two of them form a connection that is almost wordless. The film has very little dialogue, yet it speaks volumes. It is a ghostly, enchanting love story about two people who are invisible to the world, but find each other. 3 Iron premiered in competition at the Venice Film Festival and won Kim Ki-duk the Silver Lion for Best Direction. It is strange and beautiful and will stay with you for a long time. 4. Windstruck 2004. Directed by Kwak Jae-young, the same director who brought us My Sassy Girl and The Classic. This film reunites him with Jun Ji-hyun, the star of My Sassy Girl. This time, Jun Ji-hyun plays a female police officer named Yo Kyung-jin. She is tough, reckless, and completely dedicated to her job. One day, she meets a gentle school teacher named Myung-woo, played by Jang Hyuk. Their relationship starts off rocky, but they soon fall in love. However, this is a Korean romance, so you know happiness cannot last. A tragic accident changes everything. The film is known for its emotional roller coaster, making you laugh in one scene and cry in the next. It was the first Korean film to hold its premiere in Hong Kong, which shows how big the Korean wave was becoming at the time. Jun Ji-hyun is fantastic as always, bringing both toughness and vulnerability to her role. It is a film about love, loss, and the lengths we go to for the people we care about. 3 Feathers in the Wind, 2004. Directed by Song Il-gon, this film was originally planned as a 30-minute segment of a 3-part omnibus film, but it was expanded into a full feature. It runs at just 73 minutes, making it one of the shorter films on this list. The story follows Hyung Song, a film director who is struggling to write a new screenplay. He travels to a remote island in the south, a place he visited 10 years earlier. He is there to fulfill a promise he made to his girlfriend at the time. The film is quiet and contemplative, almost like a poem. It deals with memory, regret, and the way the past lingers in our lives. The island's setting is beautiful and isolated, perfectly reflecting Hyung Song's emotional state. It is not a film with big dramatic moments. Instead, it is about the small, quiet realizations that come when we finally confront our past. It is a hidden gem that deserves more attention. 2. Romance of Their Own, 2004. Also known as Temptation of Wolves, this film is directed by Kim Tae-kyun and is based on a novel by the popular internet author Gi Yoni. It stars Jo Han-sun, Gang Dong-won, and Lee Chung-ah. The story follows Han Kyung, a country girl who moves to Seoul to live with her mother. She transfers to a new high school and quickly finds herself caught between 2 very different boys. One is the cocky rich kid Hae-won, played by Jo Han-sun, and the other is the mysterious and troubled Tae-sung, played by Gang Dong-won. What follows is a love triangle that is both tragic and intense. This film was a huge hit and helped launch Gang Dong-won to stardom. It has all the classic elements of a Korean romance: first love, jealousy, sacrifice, and an ending that will break your heart. It is a bit more melodramatic than some of the other films on this list, but sometimes that is exactly what you want. It is pure, unapologetic emotion, and it works. 1. My Girl and I, 2005.
왜? 말이 돼? 우리 앞에서
And finally, the #1 spot goes to My Girl and I, directed by Jeon Yoon-soo. This film is a remake of the Japanese film Crying Out Love in the Center of the World, which was adapted from the novel Socrates in Love by Kyoichi Katayama. It stars Cha Tae-hyun and Song Hye-kyo in her big screen debut. Cha Tae-hyun plays Soo-ho, a high school student, and Song Hye-kyo plays Soo-un. The story begins with Soo-ho preventing Soo-un from drowning in the ocean. From that moment, they become close. But Soo-un has a secret. She is suffering from a terminal illness. As her condition worsens, Soo-ho must come to terms with the fact that he is going to lose the girl he loves. The film is heartbreaking in the most beautiful way. Cha Tae-hyun brings his everyman charm, making the pain feel even more real. And Song Hye-kyo is luminous, bringing warmth and grace to a tragically short life. It is the kind of film that makes you want to hold on to the people you love just a little bit tighter. It is a fitting end to this countdown, a reminder that love is precious precisely because it does not last forever. So, there you have it. 12 classic Korean romance films that define an era. Each one offers something different, from the quiet restraint of An Affair to the epic sweep of the classic, from the wordless poetry of 3 Iron to the devastating heartbreak of My Girl and I. They remind us that love is complicated, that it can be beautiful and painful, and everything in between. If you haven't seen these films, do yourself a favor and track them down. Bring tissues. You are going to need them.